The New Jersey Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the rights of the public to have access, advance notice of, and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Belvidere Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the time, date, and place thereof posted with the Star Ledger and the Express Times, and submitted to the town clerk of the town of Belvidere on January 9th, 2023. The meeting will be live streamed at www.belvideresd.org. Flag salute, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Ackerman? Mr. Blum?
Here.
Dr. Zuppeth?
Here.
Mrs. Duckworth?
Here.
Mrs. Gardella?
Here.
Mr. McElroy?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Mrs. Steffen?
Here.
Mrs. Weidlich?
Here.
Mrs. Wenner?
Here.
Mr. Wenner?
Here.
And we have our new Hope Township Board Representative. Say your last name for me?
Ciccarelli.
Mr. Ciccarelli.
It's slightly Italian.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, before we start our committee reports, we're going to hear from Mr. Duckworth and our FFA student.
Wait a minute a little bit. 2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure of heading out to Indianapolis to meet up with Mr. Duckworth and 4 students as they were competing out at the National FFA Convention. I was certainly in awe with the amount of students that were participants. I think at one point they said that between students, staff, and special guests, there was close to 70,000 people there in Indianapolis. 72,000, my apologies, Mr. Duckworth. It was quite an amazing experience. It was actually a lot of fun. I know sometimes we're not supposed to say we had a lot of fun when we do certain things. But I asked Mr. Duckworth just to come and just spend a couple of minutes and talk a little bit about the process, what the kids competed in, how they did, and just really to talk about what a great experience it was. And I know he brought Miss Postma with him, even though I think, if I recall, Miss Postma's name was mispronounced, although I'm still not sure why when she got her award, but
Yeah, hers was one of the easier ones.
hers was one of the easier ones. Go ahead, Mr. Duckworth.
All right. I don't have a whole lot to say, but I'm going to let Ashley do most of the talking about the event that we had. But oh, you need me to talk to the microphone? Oh, God. I hate talking to the microphone. Yes, so they can hear me at home or what? So our FFA chapter, we competed in a state event, which is Dairy Cattle Evaluation and Management, which is essentially judging dairy cows based on a variety of factors with their health and wellness and how they operate. And we judge them based on one another. So we won the state competition in May, and then we competed at the national convention, which was just 2 weeks ago in Indianapolis. So our team won. I'm going to let Ashley talk a little bit about what we did as a team, and then some of the other fun things that we got to do. And then I'll jump back on and talk a little bit about what we're doing this week and what we've done last couple of weeks that kind of out in the community, so to speak. So, Ashley?
My experience at the convention was very hectic, but it's definitely going to be one of my major memories. I don't think you can go wrong going there. The competition was much different than the New Jersey competition. There's so many more people, and I met a lot of people. I met a girl from New Mexico, and I know like I'll never get that experience again from going there. There's so many new people, more people to meet. I couldn't believe it. People told me like it's a big convention. I didn't believe them. I was like, yeah, I'm sure it's big, but it truly is humongous. The competition went great for us, I know, as a team. I know some placings we didn't wish we got, but we still did great. It was amazing. It was a very difficult competition. Wasn't expecting some of the cows to be like that. They're difficult to judge, but we managed to pull through. Another thing was I went to the state convention last year, and that was a major experience for me. But going to the national level was humongous. It was totally different. And I know most of my group members didn't go to the state convention last year, so it was a great experience for them. And it was just a great time. We got to go to the rodeo. I know I've been to a couple, but that one was really, really cool there. and we did the hypnotist show, which was really neat. I've never been to one. We learned a lot of new things, met a lot of new people, and it was just overall a great experience that'll stick with me for the rest of my life.
So, yeah, I can't pass that up. You did very well there. Thank you. So a couple things that we have going on more recently. Tomorrow we're competing at the New Jersey Fall CDE, which is Career Development Event competition at Rutgers University. So we'll have a land judging team, fruits and vegetables identification team, as well as, what's the other one? Not dairy cattle, milk quality and products team. So we'll have 3 different teams competing at Rutgers tomorrow. Some of the other things we've been doing just the last couple of weeks, we had a generator donated to us through the grapevine, and we refurbished it with our ag mechanics class, and we handed that off to the Belvidere Ambulance Corps so they can use it during storms and times where they don't have power. Some of the other things we've been doing, we just picked apples at Stonyfield Orchard for the community lunch that we do here at the Presbyterian Church in town. So that was important. And Mr. Kruba didn't talk about why he went. Part of the reason why he went was obviously to experience the convention, but also because he won an award himself. He won the honorary American degree at the National Convention, which it sounds impressive because it is impressive. It is the highest degree you can get for a non-FFA member. So somebody that's no longer in the organization, and really it's to go to a person that supports agricultural education and the FFA. So that's the highest honor somebody in a position like his could get. So I think that deserves a round of applause as well. But anyway, I'm going to put a
What is land judging?
land judging. So how can I say this in a short period of time? Okay, so really it's lots to do with soils. So soil structure, soil texture. Ashley's actually competing on that team tomorrow as well. Really looking at land, what it's suitable for in terms of like building construction or things like that. So really identifying key points in soils, key points in land management, and how to proceed going forward. So that's land judging. Sorry. Some of these things I take for granted that I know, and I forget that some people, I say land judging, nobody knows what it is.
How many students are in FFA?
Currently, I know we've had some ebbs and flows at the beginning of the year. I think we're at 91 this year. So, we've made some leaps and bounds over the last 3 years, and really proud to say that we have that number.
Excellent.
So, put a button on this and just say thank you, and look forward to coming again when we have something to talk about. All right.
Great job, all
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are on to our committee reports. Okay, so then I guess we are on to executive session. Can I have a motion to go to executive session?
So moved.
Second, okay. Let's see. For personnel and HIB, any discussion held by the board which need not remain confidential will be made public as soon as practicable. Minutes of the executive session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. The board will reconvene in public session at the conclusion of the closed section in approximately 20 minutes, half hour. Okay. Good. Can I have a motion to come out of our work session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any noes? Okay. All right, moving on to our regular meeting. The New Jersey Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the rights of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Belvidere Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted with the Star Ledger and the Express Times, and submitted to the town clerk of the town of Belvidere on January 9th, 2023. The meeting will be live streamed at www.belvideresd.org. Flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The mission of the Belvidere School District is to celebrate our past and empower our future while focusing on the four cornerstones of our district: tradition, excellence, academics, and community. We strive to build confidence and promote collaboration. We encourage an equal partnership with our students and staff as well as its community members. We empower everyone to develop the best version of themselves. The Belvidere School District is committed to shaping students into global citizens who take initiative for their success and contribute to the continued excellence of the district. Our students are leaders in the decision-making process of their education and will be prepared to excel in the 21st century society. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ackerman? Mr. Blum? Dr. Zuppeth?
Here.
Mrs. Duckworth?
Here.
Mrs. Gardella?
Here.
Mr. McElroy?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Here.
Mrs. Steppen?
Here.
Mrs. Weidlich?
Here.
Mrs. Wenner?
Here.
Mr. Wenner?
Here.
Mr. Ciccarelli?
Here.
Okay. Public participation. Do we have any public participation at this time?
Jeff Weidlich. I'm here to give an update on the Education Foundation. So I was able to go to the alumni dinner and have a few minutes to speak to the alumni, and went over very well, much better than expected. An alumnus, George Snyder, class of '63, donated $5,000 to the Education Foundation. He had donated $5,000 to the Alumni Association for their scholarship fund, and from my couple minutes of babbling on about what we were trying to do, he wrote a check right there and handed it to me. So, as I think I said last time I'd come to a meeting, our goal is to raise $10,000 by September of '24 to start grants for teachers, and that donation in itself put us halfway there. And then in October, we also did several roadside cleanups. We should be getting $1,400, if I remember correctly, from that. Thank you to Mrs. Duckworth and Mrs. Weidlich for coming out and supporting that, helping out with that. So when we get that money, we should be in the neighborhood of $7,000, so well on our way, and we're planning an additional fundraiser for possibly late February, which hopefully will put us at that goal, and then we'll put together grant applications and get that out, and we can discuss that more, how that's, how that process will work, but hopefully we'll be able to start that process for September of next year then.
Great.
Thank you.
Oh, Belvidere Lions Club is also donating $500 to us. I forgot that. So Night of Giving on November 28th, I'll be going and receiving a check from them. So I believe that also came out of the alumni, me speaking at the alumni dinner. So we're making some headway, and so hopefully we'll hit that goal and be ready to start providing grants for next school year. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other public participation? No? Okay. So correspondence?
I have two things. First one says, Dear members of the Belvidere Board of Education, I am writing to formally announce my decision to retire from the District of Belvidere and the State of New Jersey effective March 1st, 2023, pending the completion of all necessary paperwork. After an incredible 28-year journey in the field of education, it is with mixed emotions that I bid farewell to the wonderful community and educational family that I have been privileged to be part of for almost 2 decades. The time has come for me to shift my focus to a new and exciting chapter in my life as our family welcomes its first grandchild. This precious addition has led me to reflect on the profound importance of family and the value of cherishing the moments we have with our loved ones. Belvidere, both as a town and as a school district, has been a remarkable place to live and work. The unwavering support and dedication of this community to the cause of education are truly remarkable. I am profoundly grateful for the exceptional education my son received within the district, which is a testament to the commitment and expertise of our educators. Throughout my career in Belvidere, I've had the privilege of collaborating with exceptionally talented educators and administrators. The synergy and camaraderie that exists among our educational community have enriched my professional journey beyond measure. However, it is the students who have left the most indelible mark on my heart. The enthusiasm, curiosity, and potential that our students bring to the classroom each day have been a constant source of inspiration. They are the reason I have remained dedicated to the cause of education for as long as I have. Each day with them has been a new adventure, a reminder of the transformative power of learning. I extend my deepest gratitude to the Belvidere Board of Education, my colleagues, and the entire community for the invaluable support and encouragement I have received over the years. As I embark on this new phase of life, I wish the district continued success and growth. Belvidere has been a place of profound significance in my life, and I will carry the memories of this journey with me always. With heartfelt appreciation, Noelle Cornegay. And then the next one, please accept this letter as my formal notice of resignation from my position as part-time art teacher at Belvidere Elementary School. Please advise me as to what my last day of employment should be, etc. Thank you for your continued support of the art program and for giving me the freedom to teach from a choice-based art room. I am confident that Belvidere's artists will continue to learn and grow under the guidance of whomever you select as my replacement. My decision to leave Belvidere has been a very difficult one that has weighed on my mind since I learned I would be cut to part-time back in August. I am sad to leave my students, hometown, and kids at BAS, but I am grateful for the opportunities I have had in teaching them for the past 2+ years. It is with that gratitude that I share that I will be accepting a position with White Township as their full-time art teacher. Even though I will miss my students and colleagues at BES, I know that this is the right choice for our family given our financial hardships this year. Thank you for your understanding. So with warmest regards, Rosie Abby Magyar.
Okay, superintendent's report.
All right, thank you. I'm going to go a little bit different than I normally do. Normally, I just kind of review some of the things that have been going on, go through some dates. I'm just going to talk about 4 really great experiences I've had over the last month since our last meeting as superintendent, which really have led to some, I think, some real creative ideas that have come out with myself and the administrative team. Starting out with attending the New Jersey School Boards Association workshop in Atlantic City back at the end of October. As I was driving home, I believe it's the 9th workshop that I was able to attend. I think one year we did it virtual and one year was canceled due to COVID. I actually thought it was the best one this year. It was a little more spread out. It was a little more robust. I got to sit specifically with Mr. Blum in 2 different workshops specific to later start time in the high school. The presenters were excellent. I didn't get to see. I know Doc Zappa was there. We didn't cross paths, unfortunately. And the highlight for me was the keynote speaker was U.S. women's national soccer team player Carly Lloyd, and she was just an excellent keynote speaker. And it was a conversation with Carly Lloyd, and it was just nice to see one of America's heroes, so to speak, when it comes to sports, not really hold back and really talk about her life and what it took for her to reach that level. And I think she was inspirational to all the folks in the audience and certainly all the kids that could hear her, that just really, you need to work hard and things aren't handed to you. And to be able to compete, and I think she said it was 3 World Cups and 3 Olympics and the golds and the hoisting the champion. It was just an excellent, little over an hour with Carly, and I thought she did a great job. I don't know, Mr. Blum, if you got a chance to see that, but she was excellent. Follow that up with my trip to Indianapolis, as Mr. Duckworth had just mentioned. It's actually interesting hearing Matt talk about it because he downplays it a little bit. We talk about our kids winning a bronze medal in the cattle or the dairy cow category. They're going up against farmers from the Midwest, like the two brothers from Wisconsin that actually won the award. They're on a farm with probably 5,000 or 6,000 head of cattle. So I think there's a little bit of an advantage that they have over our kids. But just to see our students compete at that national level and get the recognition is just outstanding. It was just such a great experience, and I'm glad he came to talk about it because I think sometimes we don't always know when it comes to things like FFA what they're actually doing and who they're competing against, but it was outstanding. I was actually lucky enough to sit next to a group from Nebraska during the Hypnotist show, and I made like 4 or 5 new friends from Nebraska, so it was really, really a lot of fun. And when they hear you're from New Jersey, they always think you live right outside of New York City or Philadelphia, so we went through a lot of how great New York City and Philadelphia was. That, and then one of the more interesting workshops I went to last week was with Mr. Karabinas. We went to a workshop on artificial intelligence, on AI, and the impact that it's going to have on schools. And it was eye-opening and exhilarating at the same time, and just to see what the capability of the artificial intelligence is currently and how it's going to impact our kids. We're talking about how, as educators, not specific to Belvidere, but I think as a historical group, we're just always a little bit behind when it comes to technology. We need to get ahead of this technology. So Mr. Karabinas and I, we will do a short presentation on artificial intelligence at the January reorganization meeting. We figured that's a meeting where there's not much on the agenda. We could take like 20, 25 minutes and just do a nice presentation and talk about what we saw, what was discussed, and probably what the future is when it comes to our kids and how they're going to be able to handle that. And then the last thing, Monday in Harmony, and then today here in Belvidere, had an opportunity to present to the staff on the regionalization process, which I thought went over, at least, put some thought in people's mind as to what the process is going to be in the timeline. And I'll also do a similar presentation at the reorganization meeting so everybody can kind of see. You can see tonight on our agenda, we are approving the consulting group. Belvidere is the main contact for that, so we'll approve it, and then the other 4 districts will go along with that. But I think it's good just to kind of everybody to get a sense of the timeline and what we're up against and what, as the customer, our expectations are from the consulting group. So I'll also do that in January. I think that's a great meeting to do some of these presentations. I do want to just comment, number one, on Miss Magyar leaving. She was with us a short time. I think she made a great impact. I got to observe her class twice, and she just, the way she handled her students and the joy that she had each time I saw her, and I'm sure every time she was in the classroom, was just excellent to see, and she will be greatly missed. Mrs. Cornegay, it's always hard when someone who's your age is retiring, and you're still wondering when that time comes for you. Noelle has been an outstanding educator. I think we can probably collectively, between myself and Mr. Carnaby, just talk about her for about a half an hour and all the great things that she has done, what she means to our kids, the high level of expectation she has, the high standard she has for not just her kids but herself, and the way she has consistently carried herself as a professional in the 14 years that I've known her. She will absolutely be greatly missed. I wish her the best of luck with her. I know Jason's retiring as well, and their opportunity to spend time with their grandkids, but Noelle has had a great impact on the children of Belvidere, and I really want to recognize what she has meant to this district. So I appreciate her time and effort. And lastly, pretty sure, unless Mr. Weidlich drives Mrs. Weidlich to the next meeting, this will be her last meeting on the Belvidere board. So she's been on the Belvidere board just a relatively short time, but I do want to thank her for her efforts here in Belvidere and representing Harmony as she has done for the last couple of years. Certainly has had a big impact on this board, has done great in our curriculum committee and the curriculum work that we've done, and I think I speak for the rest of the board, but certainly for myself, you'll be greatly missed, and we appreciate all that you've done. That's my report.
Okay, let's go with the student representative report, please.
Okay, so student government is planning Snowball, and the tickets will be going on sale within the next 2 weeks. Leo Club is going to the Chelsea with select senior students to bake cookies for National Cookie Day. GSA will be honoring Trans Remembrance Day on Monday. And then lastly, the National Honor Society had their blood drive yesterday and raised 19 units of blood, which will be used to save 54 lives.
Nice. Okay, so we will go on to policy. This is going to be number 1 through 12. No add-ons with this. Can I have a motion to approve 1 through 12?
So moved.
Second.
Any abstentions? Any noes? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any questions on any of them? I have just a couple questions about them. Number 1, I'm wondering, for policy number 1, the sick leave, that's replacing the 2 other policies, right?
Correct.
So 1 is like an all-inclusive of employees?
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. So then why, when we come down to the other ones, are we replacing 1 with 2? if you read it, it's like the same.
Yeah, so the simple explanation is usually the way the policies read is one is specific for teachers and one is specific for the rest of the staff in the building.
Yeah, it has like policy number 3212.
Yeah, so 3212 and 4212
Yeah.
correspond. So 3212 is specific to teaching staff, and then 4212 is specific to the rest of the staff. Usually the paraprofessionals are named.
Okay, so that's all support staff, like
Correct.
throughout
Mhm.
all the other employees. Okay. Why did they break one up and put one together? Any ideas? Because it's the same wording, other than teaching staff and support staff, from what I can tell. And I mean, this is a lot for me to read the legal stuff, but
Yeah, it's the way the state does it. Whether we use school boards or whether we use Strauss Esseman, they've all, shouldn't say always, because
yeah,
I've
but
only been superintendent for 11 years. But for those 11 years, it's always been that way, that they've broken them up into two different spots.
I just thought that was strange that
Yeah.
one is
I think a lot-
being merged and one
yeah.
is being
I think
broken
sometimes
up, like-
because not every district has their support staff as part of their association, so I think that way the state is making sure that they're thought of and they're covered when it comes to these policies.
Okay, I was just wondering. And then my last question is the one for the school's threat assessment team. Is it one team for the whole district, or is it one team for each school, elementary?
One team for the
and
whole
high school?
district.
Okay. And the training for that, is it a send out for those people, or does it come to the school? Is there a cost? Is it provided by the state?
Yes, 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 and no.
Good job.
What's that?
It's
Virtual training, is there a cost to it? No, there's not a cost to it. I'm sure there will be shortly, the way the state usually operates, but it's provided by the state.
It's the state. Okay.
I believe, Mr. Bartow, you're our threat assessment team coordinator, correct?
Okay. I think that was it. Any other questions? Okay, so can I have a motion I have a motion to approve 1 through 12?
Already
We already did it.
We already
All in
did it,
favor.
we're just asking questions.
You
Okay,
just need all in favor.
I just need all in favor. Okay, sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any noes? Okay. All right, so now we are on through personnel, 13 through, and there's a 13 on your other page for the,
Just adjusting her date.
okay, just the adjustment on there. So it's 13 through 20, you have 20A
20B.
and 20B. Okay,
So moved.
Oh, second.
second. She already hit me. I was getting motion
motion
out. She already
You
hit me.
didn't ask
Just
for a
helping
motion,
you
so
out.
I was confused.
Okay, any
was too anxious.
questions on any of those items 13 through 20, A and B? No questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Nope, that's roll call.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one's a roll call, I
Mr.
forgot.
Blum?
Personnel.
Dr. Zeppeth?
Yes.
Mrs. Duckworth?
Yes.
Gardella?
Yes.
Mr. McElroy?
Yes.
Mr. Scott? Mrs. Steffen?
Yes.
Mrs. Weidlich?
Yes.
Mrs. Wenner?
Yes.
Mr. Wenner?
Yes.
Mr. Chicarelli?
Yes.
Okay, so we are on to education. This is number 21 through 25. There's also additions on your other sheet to 25 and 25A. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on any of them? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstentions? Okay. So then that brings us to business items. We're gonna have 26 through now 32 with an add-on. Thank you. Oh, geez.
Wait, I'll read it because I can read anybody's handwriting.
Okay. Yeah, if you,
Because I can read it too. I can read
Okay,
anybody's
yeah.
handwriting. Doesn't matter. Your
it's
teacher
for
long enough.
Third Street
You're a
School.
teacher long enough. You can read anything. All right. Whereas the Board of Education previously resolved to explore the sale of the Third Street Elementary School, and whereas the board desires to begin the process of disposing of the property. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Belvidere Board of Education as follows. 1, it is hereby determined that the Third Street building and property are no longer needed for school purposes and are no longer desirable or suitable for the use for which it was acquired. And 2, the administration is authorized to take whatever steps are necessary to request approval from the New Jersey Department of Education for permission to sell the property.
Thank you. So now, any questions for 26 through now 32? No questions? And we can do that and all in favor? We're good? We don't, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstentions? No? Okay.
Roll call.
I think it may be. I
That's
don't
what I
have
was
the statute
wondering,
with me,
if
but
that
I think
should
it would be a
change
good idea
it.
to have a roll call on that one because it's supposed to be a majority vote. Obviously, it was, but I think it's good to have that.
Okay. So we're going to do a roll call for 32. That's Third Street sale.
Mr. Blum? Dr. Zuppeth?
Yes.
Duckworth?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mr. McElroy?
Yes.
Mr. Scott? Steffen?
Yes.
Mrs. Weidlich?
Yes.
Mrs. Wenner?
Yes.
Mr. Wenner?
Yes.
Mr. Ciccarelli?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're on to continuing business. Does anybody have any continuing business?
I just have one thing. So I have probably been a thorn in Mr. Carabina's side at every curriculum meeting since I started on the board when it came to STEAM and GATE education here in the district. I'm happy to say Belvidere was very well represented at the first consortium event of the school year, which was 5th and 6th grade Battle of the Minds. So I was really glad to see that. And I'm happy to see that the kids were super involved and super excited to be there that night. The Belvidere kids did not place at that event, but they were very excited, which was nice to see. And they were all wearing Belvidere shirts, which was also really cool. And on another side note, we had our representative from the student government be there that night to help us. We were short-staffed at that event. It was held at Harmony. She was helpful in the room. She actually ran the room that I was in. But that was nice to see that the kids were out and about and helping out at some of the elementary events. So I'll still be watching at all those events, Mr.
Any other continuing business?
I want to ask Mr. Bartow, speaking of Thorn's side. I just wanted to
They're
get an
bleeding over there.
update on where we are with the technology part of also communication with the. Okay. And then another, how did you guys make out with get all of those in? Have good numbers? Where we at with this?
We have good numbers. Multiple different.
Oh, that was the other thing I saw too.
Yep.
I wanted to ask
Yep.
about. And the bowling, can you? I don't know if that would be.
Sure.
No, it's fun having you in the back of the room.
Yeah.
And nobody at home can hear you, by the way. I'm surprised Eric didn't bring you a mic.
So bowl. So I got to turn this bad boy on.
You good?
Is it on?
I think we're good. So bowling, I met with his name was Greg Tack. I met with him Monday. Former D1 bowler at Florida State. He's around the area. He's at Bell Pike often. We talked about what the team would look like, and again, it's probably going to look more like a club, but we are going to compete at a level that would enable us to go to the NJSIA postseason. The more research I do, the more matches we're going to have to compete in. We need at least the average is 21 meets, so that's a lot of meets. But the more research I do is we might be able to pick up Immaculata's schedule because they don't have enough students to participate. So we might be able to pick them up from our conference. And then I was speaking with the Peaburg's AD so we could practice with them at Bell Pike as well as maybe do some try or quad matches to kind of kill two birds with one stone. I called kids down in the middle of the day today, and I had 12 kids show up that were interested in participating in the bowling team. So we are not going to provide transportation to most meets. We can probably provide transportation maybe to the 100 Warren Sussex Skyland. But so again, it's a work in progress. We're going to see. We'll get some cool bowling shirts and go from there.
When does that roll out?
Bowling technically starts Monday, but
Okay.
again, we're not going to be able to start Monday, so I'm kind of aiming for like December 1st.
We could just jump in, or is it?
Yeah, it's a season, so it follows the same rules. Like they need 6 practices in order to compete. There's a tournament that we were invited to. I mean, Warren Hills was also helpful. They had a bowling meeting last night, Zoom meeting that our coach got invited to. So, I mean, Warren County is a powerhouse bowling like conglomerate. Warren Tech, Warren Hills, Peaburg, they're all like stud bowling teams. So we're joining in a spot that's pretty competitive, and they want us to join. And the fact that we're in Bell Pike's 5 minutes away, I'm still waiting to have my coach speak to the owner there, and then we'll set up some price scales and all that kind of stuff. But I'll be honest, if I get 10 matches plus 2 tournaments, I'll be happy. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks. All right, any other continuing business? No? All right, new business. Anybody have any new business? Going once, going twice? Okay, so we are on to public participation number 2. Do we have any public participation? Come on up.
Reva Smickle. I'm the spokesperson for the community lunch that's held every Friday at the United Presbyterian Church. I want to come and tell you guys again how much I appreciate your elementary school teachers and your staff. I never have approached Mr. Carabinas that I haven't gotten an answer, and 99% of them are, yes, we can do that. And again, I didn't make it last year, and they did so much for us last year. I can't use names because I don't know who it was, but they baked 1 week a month the entire school year for us last year. At the present time, we are serving between 130 and 150 people every Friday. I'd love to see you guys come down and see what it is. And come on December the 1st, because Mrs. Ehas's band is coming to entertain us on December the 1st.
Nice.
Again, we don't have a date set yet, but in January, Mrs. Schnesler and Mrs. Ehas are bringing their children down on Wednesday. They will be baking, hopefully, we're going to get 18 cakes baked because that's what we need each Friday. Then on Thursday, we'll ice them, and they will be back again on Friday to serve them. And hopefully there will be a note to go out because we do deliver a lot of meals. There'll be a note put in each meal stating these cakes were baked by the elementary children in Belvidere. Then in February, Christy Weber, who always comes through for me, I'm gonna get some gifts and have the Builders Club wrap them. She will come down and they will call bingo sometime in February for us. I don't know how to get a hold of all the teachers to tell them how much I appreciate them. So I'm coming here hoping that you guys relay the word to them. I know Mr. Carabinas does, God bless him. But I just want them to know how much I appreciate them because they do so much for us. And on the 1st of December, when they need to come down, they do need transportation because somebody, they're small people. They need transportation. So thank you to Mr. Scott. He's supplying a bus. We have we have 3 drivers that are willing to do it anytime we need it. And I know that Morris will give us a bus whenever we need them. And it's such an enriching thing. And for these teachers to take the time out of their schedule to do all of this, because it takes a lot of time to organize anything they're doing like this, and they've always done it for us. I have to say that, again, they're fantastic with this. My congratulations to the FFA, too. But I can't say enough about the teachers, what they come through for that community lunch for us. And the fact that of what they're doing, they're also setting such a fantastic example to these children that you go out in the public and you donate your time to do for, in some cases, less fortunate, and others, just people who need a meal. So I want you all to know, and some of the faces are familiar to me outside of the school district, but not in here at the board. I'd like to see all of you on a Friday. Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'd like to see you all come down some Friday and just see what we do at the lunch. So once again, thank you, and say thank you to all of your teachers for me, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to add to that it's a great thing for the kids. I've been down there with some of the classes over the years, and the kids are so responsive to it too. I think they get as much out of it, even though some of them don't want to recognize it or admit it. I think a lot of them get a lot out of it too, just serving the people, having lunch with the people, talking to them. So it's great, and I'm glad you have our students. Thank you. Any other public?
It's hard to believe that serve that many, 150 lunches, and when you have people that actually come in for lunch, I volunteer there every Friday, and I heard two women talking across the table to each other. And one said, I really appreciate this. This is the only hot meal I get all week. So it's a really important thing. And Riva does a great job, and the kids come down and they love being there. So it's really a great thing.
Yep, agreed. Okay, any more public participation? Anybody? No? All right, so can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
For the last time.
Yes.
I know. Broke up the team.
Thank you, good night, everybody.
Thank you.